Good morning, homeschool moms and dads. All right, so in our little top 10 questions people ask about homeschooling series that we're doing, the next question was on the decision. It's really common for people who are considering homeschooling to ask other homeschoolers, why did you choose to homeschool? Which is a really interesting concept. You're asking someone about something you're interested in to see why they were interested in it. It's interesting. I know I've probably wondered this about others, but more of a like, hey, do you want to do this for the same reason that I wanted to do this type way, rather than not understanding why someone might want to do this and needing a justification. So ultimately, there are lots of reasons why someone might want to homeschool. You might want to homeschool because, and this is very, very broad, but because you're dissatisfied with the public school system or the private school system, and you think you could do a better job. And that's probably true. As I have said in one of my other rants that is taking me forever to edit because I want to go back through and watch it and make sure I don't say anything too crazy. A one-on-one ratio teacher to student is going to be better than a 1-on-30 or a 1-on-20 or even a 1-on-15. So yes, there are benefits to it in that way, and it might be better than the institutionalized school system. A lot of parents are doing it because there's a specific need in their family that requires special attention, or a specific child in their family that just would do better in a home environment. I can't imagine a kid who wouldn't do better in a home environment, but I'm incredibly biased. So a reason why you might homeschool might be that you have a child with special needs, or a child that's twice exceptional, meaning that they have, maybe a learning disability and they're gifted. So they don't fit the typical public school mold. It might be that they have asymmetrical levels in subjects, meaning that in math, they're 3 levels advanced, and in reading, they're 2 levels behind. How do you put them into a grade level and just generically cover them and meet them at their level in an institutionalized system? That would be insane to think that an institution is going to be able to cater to that child's needs. They're just not going to. You might choose the homeschool environment because you don't like the curriculum that your public school or your private school has started implementing. Sometimes this is for political reasons, sometimes this is for religious reasons. Sometimes what the school is doing just feels very preachy and propaganda-y, and that's not your bag, and you want to get that out. Whether it's because it's too far left or too far right or too pro-religion or too anti-religion, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't fit your family's morality and ethics, then it's not a good fit to be in that institution. And if you don't think that public schools and private schools have an agenda, they do. That's what they do. They train the citizenry to behave the way they want them to. That's the point. It's not as much about the actual teaching of information as it claims to be. You might feel that you want to homeschool because you miss your kids and you just want to be around your children, or your kids miss you and they just want to be around their parents. As the working spouse, I will say I still get to see my kids way more now than I did when, we sent them to preschool and stuff, and they were gone large periods of the day, and they were gone before I went to work, and they were gone when I came home for lunch. And you don't You don't get to like spontaneously take them with you to work or things like that, which you do get to do if they're homeschooled. You can just pick them up and take them where you want to go. Hey, I have a light day at work. We're going to spend the afternoon at the park or whatever it is, and have that like special time with your kids on a more spontaneous level. Some people homeschool because they're military and they're constantly moving around. So putting them in a institution is going to be incredibly disjointed for them. They're going to be moving in the middle of the year 3 or 4 times. The military keeps them moving all the time, so it just seems more consistent to keep them homeschooled. There are tons and tons and tons of reasons why different families choose to homeschool, and ultimately every family you ask is going to have a different reason, because it's a very personal decision. It's the most personal decision. You're making a decision for yourself, your kids, your family. So that's a little bit about why people make the decision to homeschool. Thanks. Da 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 da.